McLaren.
The brand stands for near-perfect technology for stunning sports cars and British engineering. Uncompromising sports cars such as the 675LT Spider are not at the top of McLaren's to-do list for comfort and everyday use.
Those cars may be used just for weekends or special occasions, but the Sports Series and specifically the GT might be used as an everyday vehicle.
This is the first Gran Turismo for the brand, the 570GT. Related to the sportier 570s as part of the entry-level series, the so-called Sports Series is to be the best long-distance McLaren. Does this mean it is boring? Not really. Visually, it is clearly from the McLaren family. Headlights in the shape of the company logo are typical. Nevertheless, the Sports Series has a unique design. Especially the rear differs significantly from other models. Vertical opening doors are almost a must. The carbon monocoque is 85 mm deeper at the doors to facilitate boarding. A highlight of the 570GT, the glass roof, which makes the interior particularly bright. And the so-called touring deck, 220 additional liters of storage space behind the seats, which can be reached through a glass dome. It opens to the side towards the sidewalk, but does only the comfortable interior make it a GT?
So we've got the added practicality, but we've actually made some changes under the skin as well. If you think about what causes fatigue over a longer drive, it's movement within the cabin, it's unwanted noise, it's having to input into the steering. So we've actually changed the spring rates of the car, reduced them by 15% and 10%, front and rear. We've got a new damper algorithm as well, so it's a little bit smoother. We've tried to get rid of what we call the bad noise in the cabin. So we've got a little bit more noise insulation on the bulkhead, and we've got a marginally quieter exhaust. We've also changed the steering ratio, so it's 2% slower. So if you're doing high cruising speeds, you don't have to input into the steering quite so much. So when you add all of that up, it becomes a far more refined place to be over a longer trip.
It is a clear movement in the direction of driving comfort, but does McLaren move too far away from the company's sports car competency? Not at all. Even if the GT is not promoted as a track tool, it weighs only 1,344 kilograms. Its 3.8-liter twin-turbo engine develops 570 horsepower. There is definitely enough power available to make it drive really fast. The road position of the everyday McLaren is impressive, thanks to exquisite aerodynamics. At no time does one of the 570GTs feel like it is being overwhelmed in fast cornering. And the muffler exhaust sound still allows for a comfortable sports car burble. Even if it's not a purebred sports car, the McLaren 570GT is really a lot of fun. Its 3.8-liter twin-turbo V8 powers the McLaren up to 328 kilometers an hour. Whether that is used or not, it shows it could if it had to.
There's a lot of GTs out there, and really for us, this is our interpretation of a GT. So it is comfortable on a longer trip, but at the same time, if you wanted to go up a mountain pass or even take the car on track, it's still a very capable mid-engined rear-wheel drive.
The 570GT is a tamed sports car. In touring mode, the 7-speed automatic transmission changes quickly into higher gears. Over unevenness on the road, it goes completely gentlemanlike. But McLaren will probably not be further removed from true sports cars in the future. And don't worry, this one is also not too far away from that. McLaren is asking 195,000 euros for the 570GT, making it the most expensive of the 3 Sports Series models, but it lies between a Porsche Turbo and Turbo S. But not only because of the price is it a serious alternative to established models. McLaren has definitely succeeded in its Gran Turismo debut.
Whether front, middle or rear engine, whether V8 or 6-cylinder, the perfect symbiosis of sportiness and long-range comfort makes GTs true supercars.